Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould with the WNY News Now update following our live coverage of a meeting between community religious leaders, police leaders, and elected officials here in Jamestown. Breaking news, Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist announced at the start of that about an hour ago that he'll be bringing back a Human Rights Commission to the city. The mayor spoke during that meeting at Jackson Taylor Park, formerly Chattacoin Park. Following the religious ceremony, he answered questions from reporters who asked specifics of what that Human Rights Commission would look like. Here's what he had to say.
So I think being able to utilize the community to encourage more people to be a part of our community, to help us develop community policing in the city of Jamestown, those are all things that we need to continue that dialogue with.
Have you had conversations with Chief Snellings thus far on how to improve?
Absolutely. Chief Snellings and I talk almost every day about what's going on in our police force. But unless we get the community behind what we're trying to do, unless we get the community to help us craft the policies we need to make change, we're not going to be able to see change.
And final question, a little bit on a different topic.
Now, the mayor says that he will be talking to City Council come this Monday about specifically what that commission will look like and what the role would be here in the city. We, of course, will continue to follow that and bring you updates on WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. Well, 2 Buffalo police officers have been suspended without pay after they were seen on video pushing an elderly man protesting the death of George Floyd. We warn you that some viewers may find this content graphic, so discretion is advised. As police enforced the 8 o'clock curfew last night, a 75-year-old man approached them, and at least one officer appears to have pushed that man, causing him to stumble, fall, and then hit his head. Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz says that the man has a serious head injury but is in stable condition at the hospital. Now, originally, Buffalo police said that the man tripped and fell, but once additional video from WBFO was seen, the commissioner opened an investigation. Mayor Byron Brown there says that he's disturbed by the video and his thoughts are with the victim. Locally, 2 protests have occurred so far, one Sunday afternoon where law enforcement met with the community directly to discuss reforms, the other Sunday night where 2 were arrested after allegedly confronting protesters. Those 2 were not protesters, according to police. In Minneapolis, family, friends, and supporters joined together to honor George Floyd. His death and others have sparked a nationwide call for reform that we've seen right here in Jamestown. Camille Brunell has more.
George Floyd was remembered Thursday in Minneapolis at the first of several memorials planned in his honor.
When you spoke to George, they felt like they was the president because that's how he made you feel.
At one point, attendees standing in silence for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, the same amount of time one officer kept his knee on Floyd's neck as he died. Video of Floyd's death while in police custody has sparked nationwide protest and a broader discussion about the inequalities of race in America.
Not 2 justice systems in America, one for Black America and one for white America. What we endeavor to achieve is equal justice for the United States of America.
Meanwhile, the 4 former Minneapolis police officers present at Floyd's death have all been arrested and charged. Derek Chauvin charged with second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. The 3 others charged with aiding and abetting Chauvin. Minnesota officials acknowledge the case will be difficult to prosecute.
It's very difficult to hold the police accountable even when there's a violation of law.
And Reverend Al Sharpton said the push towards equality will continue.
You changed the world, George. We're going to keep marching, George.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Camila, thank you. And as we had live on our noon broadcast, local religious leaders met with law enforcement and government officials seeking guidance following the killing. Organizers say that faith is what will keep them together and hopefully keep the conversation going, which eventually would spark change. Well, two 80-year-old men have died as a result of COVID-19 infection in Chautauqua County. The health department now saying both had underlying health conditions despite extensive treatment were unable to overcome the illness. Here's an updated look at the COVID-19 map locally. Meanwhile, 7 cases of the virus were reported yesterday. That's the highest jump of new cases we've seen this week. The county health department says the new COVID-19 cases involve a man and woman in their 80s, a woman in her 70s, 2 women in their 40s, 2 women in their 30s, and a woman in her 20s. There are now 20 active cases with 97 total. Since Wednesday, no new recoveries have been reported here in Chautauqua County. Officials remind residents it is important to take extra precaution and protect those with underlying conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and respiratory diseases. Now today, Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell is expected to update the public on the COVID-19 outbreak. That's scheduled to take place at 3 o'clock in Mayville. Viewers can watch that streamed live right here on WNY News Now's 24-hour streaming network, WNYNewsNow.com/live, our mobile app, or on our Facebook page. Well, officials in the city of Jamestown are working to help local restaurants wanting to take advantage of outside seating, part of Phase 2 reopening here in Western New York. Mayor Eddie Sundquist on this program yesterday said that businesses who currently do not have outdoor seating are able to apply for a permit to allow sidewalk seating in front of their restaurant. The mayor says that he's currently working with the city council to define a more complete outdoor dining plan, which will include the use of additional public spaces like parking spaces and legislation allowing food trucks and trailers.
If you want to use any type of city sidewalk, city right-of-way, the city has to agree to it. And we've also been notified by the state liquor authority that those that have alcohol permits, alcohol licenses, as long as you have a valid permit from the city and the city signs off on it, you can start to vend and serve alcohol in those city spaces as well.
Now, if businesses are interested in using public sidewalks or other adjacent spaces, they're encouraged to call or email the Department of Development at 716-483-7541, or you can email them at dod@jamestowny.gov. We have links and more at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, Jamestown High School senior spring athletes were honored with a special parade last night. Vehicles decorated with posters, paint, and streamers traveled down 3rd Street. Family and community members gathered together while practicing social distancing to celebrate. Joanne Dean helped organize that event. She says that seniors across the board missed out on a lot because of COVID-19.
Their season didn't get underway at all, and we just felt it was important that they get recognized. So we had seen things on Facebook, and we thought we'd give it a try. And everybody in the community came together. The city was willing to do it for us. The amazing donors. I just can't say enough about what a great community we have.
Now, banners featuring 5 different spring sports honoring 40 different athletes are now displayed in the downtown area. Dean says they will remain posted on light poles through June. Well, now let's get a check of our First Defense weather forecast. Forecaster Andrew Stevenson is in for Dakota today. Happy Friday, Andrew.
Happy Friday, Justin. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's take a look at the high temperatures yesterday. 77 degrees was the high in Jamestown. Erie and Dunkirk both hit a high of 82, and will reach those highs, if not higher, for today. Let's talk about the dew point. That's what it feels like with all this heat out there. If it's in the 40s and the 50s, it's dry out there. But once you get into the 60s and in the 70s in the dew point, it just begins to feel uncomfortable, and that's when you really need the fans and the air conditioners, and you feel sweaty all the time, especially when you get out of the shower. You feel sweaty right after that. So what's it going to feel like out there? 65 to 70. That's downright muggy, but it does cool down as we head into tomorrow. Look at that. It just bottoms out right down into 50, 55 to 60. It will feel pleasant out there, and by the time we get to Sunday, it will feel refreshing. So one more day of hot weather, and then it will cool off. What's the next big weather maker? The warm front has pushed off to the north. That's why we're dealing with that heat. We have a cold front off to the west moving through Chicago. That's going to move through our area tonight, bringing with it some rain showers. So let's take a look at that on future look. For the rest of the afternoon, we'll be dealing with pop-up showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. It's not going to rain anywhere. These pop up and then they leave, and then you don't see them again. Tonight a cold front will move through the area that will bring a few rain showers into the area tonight, but it will clear out after that, leading for a beautiful weekend. So the rest of this afternoon, partly cloudy skies out there, showers and storms possible popping up. It will be quite muggy out there with temperatures high 75 near the lakeshore to the low to mid 80s as you head inland. For tonight, that cold front again moves through with a few rain showers and thunderstorms possible, but after it moves through, it will be mostly cloudy, not as mild tonight, 57 in the valleys to 63 near the lakeshore. The next 7 days coming up, today, hot. It will cool off this weekend with temperatures in the low 70s Saturday, and then Sunday will feel like autumn out there, but it will warm right back up as we head into next week, and we get close to 90 by Tuesday. Justin?
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We remind you, when you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Have a great weekend.